Welcome to this week's installment of One Take Tours as we look into the center of the CIOPCC this week and check out the three smaller towers that we have here in the middle. So we're going to come down this way and start with this tower down on this end. You see there's some stuff hanging from the ceiling. This is a Ghostbusters Tower. I've said before a couple of times, seeing other Ghostbusters stuff, that you see a ton of it later on. Well, this is later on. That's the Enter Bay 6 scale Ecto-1 with their Ghostbusters on the top shelf here. Come back around the back side and we're going to get into some of the Diamond Select Ghostbusters, as well as the front of the firehouse that was a build-a-set that you could get put together when you bought a certain number of the figures. And at the end here we have the Popemobile set of the firehouse with the Ecto-1 inside and a variety of characters. Come down a shelf and you're going to see the other build-a-set that Diamond Select did of the rooftop. Again, tons of their figures, Mattel's figures, Hasbro's figures, all together here. Like I said, some of these are from Hasbro, some of them are from Mattel. You'll see some real Ghostbusters there from Diamond Select. There's even a few from NECA. They did a handful early on. There's some more Playmobil. And there's some of the figures from the new film. And we're back around to this side. Now let's drop down the shelf and look at some cars. I have way too many cars. I think I have about 600 or 700 loose cars in the collection. Most of them are on this shelf with a 4-tier arrangement and a few flying in the air. One of these days I've got a catalog of these. Sadly, I did not write down their names as I was opening them up. So that's going to be fun. And on the very bottom we have some of the 1/18 scale cars. Some boxed, some loose. So now let's walk down to the other end down here and look at the other two towers. But first, let's stop in the middle and look at two Detolfs. Now, yes, I do have two Detolfs. 1 and 2. I did a calculation to get the same amount of shelf space. If you use the top of the Detolf, as I have out here on these shelves, it would require almost 360 Detolfs. So you can see why I didn't go that route. There's a lot of Monsters, Inc. on this side here, as well as some of the Monsters, Inc. figures, different movies, including the new TV show, both of the films, some different scales. And then on the bottom, we've got some Avatar Last Airbender figures. These are the Dakin Looney Tunes from the 1960s and 70s, and then we move on up into some other Looney Tunes, including McFarlane. Terrific says he did, as well as some figures from a couple other companies. We finish out on top with some Kung Fu Panda, and as we move around, we'll get to the rest of the Kung Fu Panda series and the backside, as well as a little more Monsters, Inc. So now we're going to turn around this way and hit another tower. These towers are all 3x4, and I went with only 3 shelves on them because I wanted to have enough space on top. Now, more cars. This side is, for the most part, Mater. Although we have some other stuff boxed behind him there. And when we come around this side, this is more general stuff. Some of it boxed. Some of them are con exclusives. On this end, it's mostly McQueen. Just about every version of Lightning McQueen you could want. And then we're going to finish off on this side with some of the bigger sets. And a few more cars. So now let's talk Masters of the Universe. Masters of the Universe Classics. We're going to go down here to the floor and start looking at some of the box stuff. I am not a huge Masters of the Universe fan. However, I am a very big fan of this particular line by Mattel. So as we come around on the floor, you're going to see some boxed stuff. This is a line that's really gone crazy over the years. And I am actually almost complete, even though I never really tried to be complete. There's only like 2 or 3 that I'm missing. They also came with these posters. There's that one. And if you look along the bottom here of the, let's walk on down this way so you can see a bunch of them at once. The bottom of this particular tower, the rest of the potential posters that came are all framed. So now let's move up another shelf on here and look at more Masters of the Universe classics. The carded stuff are some of the harder to get ones that I've kept carded. Lots of loose guys. It's one of my favorite cars. That's the Pope in the Popemobile. And we'll come around this side. And then we get a lot of loose stuff up here on top. Now, the reason we did this up on top was so I could have the full size of Castle Grayskull and everybody around it. And we got a couple of people up on the ceiling, flying around. And then on the inside of the castle, you have quite a few more. So yeah, I love this line. It's a terrific series. I've got to pick up, like I said, 2 or 3 more items to be complete, but it's a pretty full collection. Now let's walk around this side and look at one more tower before we're done with the middle. And starting at the top of this tower, again, we did this so we could have tall stuff up on top, like the Hulkbuster from Hot Toys. So this is sort of the Tony Stark lab up here on top. We've got a variety of versions of Tony in different versions of his outfit, getting set up in the armor, as well as some of his equipment. And a couple of the suits. Now, earlier we showed you the 112 collective that were the non-Marvel and DC. Now let's look at the Marvel and DC, starting with the DC. Lots of Batman and Jokers over here. Come around this side, and of course we've left us some space because we know this line is going to continue on the DC side. And we've also left some space over here on the Marvel side. Lots of Wolverines, Captain America, Daredevil. They like to do a character more than once, that's for sure. And as we come around this side, that's where we got some space here. Finishing up with a whole lot of Punishers and blades. One more shelf down and we get into some Batmobiles and other Batman goodies. I'm close to the Batman section here. And we're going to start seeing some Lego. I don't collect a lot of Lego, but I do have a fair amount of the Batman stuff. On this side we have a few things put together. A couple more sets down on the floor. And down on this end, not only do we have some more Batman, but we have the cool Batman television and DVD player. So that's the center. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Talk to you later.